guys, it's Kenzie. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I just want to share information on the egg donation process and what it is like to be an egg donor according to my experiences in South Africa. This is an updated video. I have posted a video about this on my channel before, but I did make one mistake when I was sharing information. So I gave the wrong information on one thing, and I don't like the fact that people are going to watch that video and then receive the wrong information on one specific thing, even though everything else is accurate. And so I decided to redo this video, and I wanted to focus more on the cons and kind of warn people who are interested in becoming an egg donor and are interested in going along with this and starting this journey, so that they may be prepared for what's to come. These are the things that I didn't know before starting, this whole journey of donating my eggs, and I would like to share information on this so that people are aware and they kind of know what to expect before deciding on whether or not they want to become an egg donor. So in this video we will be covering the following topics: payment, do you get paid, how much do you get paid, etc. The application process, so how to apply, how do you apply, do you qualify, what are the requirements, and then I'm going to talk about what the egg donation process even is, like what it entails and what it's like, what you're going to be doing basically. And then I'm going to be talking about things that you should be aware of and things that you should avoid. Well, let's start with what it entails. Basically, the egg donation process is when a woman donates her eggs to another woman who is unable to have children. So that person is called a recipient, and then you would be a donor because you would be donating your eggs to her so that she may be able to have children. So with the whole process, it means that you will be undergoing a procedure. It's not surgical, they don't cut you open, but it is a medical procedure. So you do get put under anesthesia, and basically they extract your eggs. They use a surgical tool, and through your vagina they extract the eggs, and then they take your eggs and put them into the woman's body so that she may be able to have a baby from that whole process. So one thing that women are always worried about is whether or not they're going to be able to have enough eggs to have their own children in the future. This is the thing that I got wrong in my other video. I don't know why I explained it like this. I'm so sorry. I'm not a doctor, but I have done more research since then, and I understand that a little bit better. So a few weeks ago, I did go to a doctor who specializes in fertility, and that's how I got this answer. So it is 100% accurate, just so you know. Anyway, so when you donate your eggs, they take about like 10 to 15 eggs. You can trust me on this because I've been donating my eggs since I was 19, 20, and now I'm 26. And so every time I went to go donate my eggs, the doctor said that they had taken out about between 10 to 15 eggs. And I did ask the fertility doctor that I recently went to what other women say if they say that they got 10 to 15 eggs out of the process, and he says yes, it's always between 10. And as a woman, every month when you go on your period, 1,000 eggs die. Okay, and in my other video I said that your eggs regenerate. They don't regenerate, they die. Okay, so the older you get, the more eggs you lose as a woman, and that's why your childbearing years are from the age of like 20, ages between 20 and 30. That is your best time to have children as a woman, because that's when you have the most eggs, because the older you get, the less eggs you have, which is why a lot of women go into the process of actually freezing their eggs, because they get older above the age of 30 and they're still not ready to have children, but they know they're going to lose their eggs. So instead they freeze their eggs so that they can use them later when they're ready to have children, because your eggs die every month. Okay, so the amount of eggs that they they take is nothing in comparison to what you're losing anyways. You're losing your eggs anyway, and they take like a teeny tiny amount of your eggs, so it doesn't affect you. You're still going to have the same amount of eggs basically by the time you want to have children, so you don't have to worry about that. And yeah, so you when you get selected to be an egg donor, you go through like a week of injecting yourself with this medication that helps your follicles grow so that they may be able to take them out. Okay, that's basically the whole process. The procedure itself is really not bad. You do experience some pain afterwards, but it doesn't last for longer than a day. By the next day, you'll be feeling much better. You'll be back to your normal life. And the procedure is only for about 15 minutes. So it's 15 minutes long, and you won't remember anything. You'll be put under, and it will feel like you go to sleep and then you wake up and then they've already done it. Okay. And then that's it. You get painkillers and you go home. Now let's move on to the payments. The payment. The one thing I always like to emphasize is the fact that you are not selling your eggs. Your eggs are priceless. If you were to sell your eggs, I don't know how much money you would make, but this is not, you're not selling your eggs. It's called a donation for a reason. Egg donation. You're donating your eggs. But they do give you compensation, a gift to say thank you for going through this, thank you for donating your eggs. And in South Africa, legally, they pay between 7,000 to 10,000 as compensation. I don't know why that's the legal amount, but that's how much they're supposed to give. And with the agencies that I've dealt with, that's the amount that they have given me as compensation. So it ranges between 7,000 to 10,000 Rand. You can apply to other agencies abroad, and they tend to compensate a bit more. So I'm going to go through all of the agencies that I have experience with, so that you can kind of know where to apply and have kind of like a good understanding what it's going to be like for a specific agency. So when you're applying to become an egg donor, you apply with an agency, and in that agency, what it does is they put a profile up for the recipients, meaning the people who want, the women who want your eggs, who would like your eggs so that they may be able to have children, right? And then what the agency does is it connects donors to those recipients, and then if the recipients pick you and say, I would like this person to donate their eggs to me, then that's the whole process. So that's the role of the agency. The agency is where you need to apply in order to become an egg donor. So to apply, you're just gonna go online and look up egg donation. Just search egg donation agencies or become an egg donor, and it'll show you all of the different agencies around you in your area. So I'm gonna share the ones that I have had experience with. The first one on my list is Cape Fertility. It's actually one of my favorite agencies. The reason being, love the way that they treat their donors, the way that sometimes you go through the process, and some of the agencies just, I don't know, the whole process, everyone involved in the process doesn't really treat you with respect as a donor. That's what I've experienced. So I'm going to be honest, some people don't have that much respect for donors, and they kind of treat you like you're not that important, which is really emotional, because this is a huge thing that you're doing, that you're giving of yourself. And so if you feel like you're not getting treated with that much respect as a donor, it's really hard for you to go through the process. It's not going to be enjoyable at all. So if you feel that you're getting treated in a not so nice way, that's a red flag. So Cape Fertility is really nice. They're really nice to their donors. And also another thing is that you don't have to pay for a thing. You don't have to worry about transport, like going to the clinic and whatever. You don't have to worry about paying for anything. They cover all of the expenses, and they give you compensation. Okay, so you don't have to worry about any payments. If an agency asks you to pay for anything, that is a red flag. You're not supposed to pay for anything as a donor. You're not supposed to even pay for transport to go to the clinic where you will be donating your eggs. Nothing. You're not supposed to pay for anything, and always ask for them to organize transport. If they're not saying anything about that, ask them to organize transport. So that's what I love about Cape Fertility. Cape Fertility Egg Donation Clinic is based in Cape Town, but the nice thing about it is that they take donors from all over South Africa. So if you live in Johannesburg, they will still accept you as a donor. And when you get to the stage where you get picked to become a donor and you donate your eggs, they will fly you out to Cape Town. They will take care of the expenses, plane tickets, everything. They'll give you compensation for food, blah, blah, blah. And then when you're done with the process, they'll still give you the compensation that you need for being a donor, your reward for being a donor. And so that's what I really love about them. They really take care of their donors, and you don't have to worry about any of that. I just find it very stressful if you have to worry about things like that, like payments, especially if you have money issues to begin with. And also it's just too stressful. It's just a stressful process. But yeah, Cape Fertility is really nice, so I would suggest looking that one up. Then we have Vida Vitalab. I just want to mention the fact that when you apply, you're going to go into this whatever specific agency you want to go with. You're going to go into the website and they'll give you all the information. They'll give you frequently asked questions by donors. They'll give you all of the information, and you will be able to contact a coordinator, which, well, once you've applied, the coordinator will contact you. A coordinator is basically kind of like the person who takes care of the whole process for you, and they'll answer any of your questions. They'll give you all the information on the website. You won't have to worry about any of that, okay? Anyway, so the next agency I want to talk about is called VIDA. It stands for Vitalab Egg Donation Agency, and it's based in Sandton. The compensation, the compensation for Cape Fertility is 8,000 Rand. So your reward for being a donor with Cape Fertility is 8,000 Rand. I forgot to mention that. So VIDA, the compensation is 10,000 Rand. And what I like about VIDA is that it's an egg bank. And so once you apply to be an egg donor and they accept you, you start the process immediately. So you don't have to sit and wait for someone to pick you to be an egg donor. You don't have to do that. They take your eggs and they put it in the system, and then when someone chooses your profile, whenever that may be, then they do the whole procedure. You know, you've already given your eggs, you've already donated, so you don't have to sit and wait. Because the thing about applying to be an egg donor is that you might be on the system, your profile might be on the system, but you don't know how long you're going to wait until they ask you to donate. You might have to wait 3 months, you might have to wait 3 years, you never know. Okay, you never know when you're going to get picked. But that's the nice thing about VIDA, is the compensation is 10,000, and they're really nice too. They're really nice to their donors. They treat their donors with respect and nice to you, which is important. And yeah, it's kind of like you start the whole process immediately. The requirements to become an egg donor is that you have to be between the ages of 18, from 18 to about like 28, 30. Some, I think, go up to like 32, but it depends on the agency, okay? So you need to be between those ages, and you need to be healthy. You need to be a healthy person, like mentally, physically healthy, but they will check that. They will do a screening process where you go to the clinic, where they do blood tests, urine tests, where they do a scan on your uterus to check if everything's okay. Next agency I have experience with is called Baby Miracles. That's the one that I first started with. When I first donated my eggs, I was 19, and Baby Miracles is the agency that I first donated with. So basically, you're going to be working with the agency and the clinic. So the agency organizes the whole process of you becoming a donor, and then the clinic is where you the whole medical process is done, where you get your meds, where you get your injections, where you go for your screening, your tests, where you visit the doctor, and where you get your final procedure done. And so they work with you get your agency, and then they're going to send you to a specific clinic. Okay, so you might so I was with Baby Miracles, and they sent me to a clinic. It's called MedFem Clinic. It's around Bryanston, and so there are different egg donation agencies that work with that specific clinic. Okay, anyway. So I love Baby Miracles. The woman who runs it was really kind, really sweet, and she took care of everything. all the expenses were paid. She organized everything. There was nothing to stress about. So I really like that one. And then we have one called Baby to Mom. It's an agency based in Pretoria, and they work with Pretoria Fertility Clinic, I think it's called. I did not like that agency or that clinic at all. I just don't like the way that I was being treated as a donor. I was really emotional, and I did not enjoy the process at all, and they were really stressful. They stressed me about making my own doctor's appointments and like organizing my own transports and figuring everything out. So it was really confusing and overwhelming, and every time I asked for help they would get really irritable, and they just did not treat me right at all as a donor. I'm not saying that everyone who goes with this agency is going to get treated that way, but that clinic and that agency just I did not like it at. I'm just sharing my honest experience so that you may know and be prepared prepared for how you might get treated or whatnot. But yeah, the compensation was fine and everything, but I just don't like the way that they handled everything, and it was very overwhelming. The last thing you need when you're a donor is to have an overwhelming experience of, trying to figure everything out. You need them to take care of everything. Then we've got EDSA, it's Egg Donation South Africa. That's the name of the agency, and they are in Park Lane in Johannesburg. So they work with Park Lane Fertility Clinic. They are okay. They're not really good. They're not really bad or anything. They're just an average donation agency. They're not the very best organized people. Like, there's miscommunication between the agency and the clinic, and everyone's always confused all the time, and they're not very well organized. I don't like agencies or clinics that are not organized, because it's very stressful on you, and there's kind of like it's just a big inconvenience. Okay, so yeah, just be prepared for that. They also compensate 7,000 rand, but there was a time when I donated with them, they were stressing me out about transport. They were like, oh my gosh, but the recipients can't pay for your transport. That is a red flag. Okay, it's not your problem that they cannot cover that, because what if you can't afford it? What if you can't cover that? And they'll be like, oh, but the compensation that you get at the end is to cover for everything. It doesn't matter if you only get compensated when you're done with the whole process. So during the process, if you're expected to pay for anything, how are you going to come up with that money? Even if maybe you can, I don't know, but I just don't think that it's right for a donor to have to worry about any of those things. Okay, so we have one that is from overseas. It's called New Life Egg Donors, and there's also Emerald Donors. Okay, so those two are from abroad. They're based abroad, okay, not in South Africa. So the compensation is in dollars, so it's much higher. It's like thousands in rands. Like, I think it's from $3,000 to about $3,500. So I have not had personal experience with them. Like, I applied with them and got accepted with them, but then when it came to donating, I got nervous and paranoid and skeptical because it was abroad and I didn't want to travel. I was too scared, but I think that was just me being anxious. I don't think there's anything wrong with them, but I don't have personal experience with them, so I'm technically not recommending it. I'm just telling you to check it out if you would like to, and you can apply with them. But yeah, so basically what happens is that when you apply and you get accepted and you get chosen to donate, they will take you abroad, and that's where you'll go. You'll travel overseas, and that's where you donate your eggs. Okay, so yeah, the nice thing about them is that they actually compensate a lot more money. The thing about this whole getting paid thing, like the compensation, it's just that it's not really worth it. It's a nice reward to be like, okay, here's some money for me to be able to do some things, but money runs out like this. So if you see one where they compensate higher, I think you should give them a chance, when they compensate a higher amount, because money just runs out, and then you're just like, oh, okay, that's that. The person that you donated your eggs to, they get to have a baby. They got so much out of the experience, and then you didn't really get much. So that's why I say don't just do it if you're doing it for the money. If you're motivated by money to do this, you're going to be very disappointed. It's not about the money. It's not about that money at all, because the money is not enough. So you're going to be disappointed and you're going to feel really bad. about donating your eggs if you are motivated by money. So yeah, that is it. I'm gonna wrap this video up. That is it for today. I have covered everything, I think. Yeah, so it might be emotional, might be an emotional process. It is already, but it might be extra emotional if you're really stressed out based on the specific agency. I already covered the fact that money is not a lot of money that they compensate, so you shouldn't allow that to be your motivator. The way that they treat donors, if they don't treat you that well, red flags. So go for the ones that treat you good. And I mean, yeah, you might be addicted to the process. You might want to donate again and again and again and again. But the limit is 6 times. That's how many times you're allowed to donate your eggs legally. But that is it for today's video. If you have any questions, please do comment down below. I will see you in my next video. Bye. Oh, you can also email me. I'll put my email here if you have any questions or concerns. But yeah. That is it for today's video. I will see you in my next one. Bye.